Hello YouTube, welcome back to Unloved Autos. We're taking a break here between torrential rainstorms in the North Texas rainforest, and we're here for this week's video. Today we are doing an Unloved Autos spotlight on my 1982 Mercury LN7. The LN7 was built for only 2 years, 1982 and 1983. It's built on the same platform as the Ford Escort and the Mercury Lynx, the first generation of those cars. Its sister car is the Ford EXP. It is somewhat more famous because it sold better. They sold the EXP from 1982 to 1988, and it even had 2 generations. The big differences between the two were the rear of the LN7 had the bubble back hatch, similar to the Mercury Capri of that era. It's one of the styling cues they used. And on the front, the LN7 has 10 slots under the badge, whereas the EXP from Ford has only 2. One of the most distinctive features of this car are the frog eye headlights. These survived for both years of the LN7 and throughout the first generation of the EXP. Like I said, these were fairly slow sellers. In 1982, Mercury sold only 70,000 of these. Actually, that was their high mark by far. In 83, sales dropped all the way down to 4,000. The EXP, on the other hand, sold almost 100,000 in 82 and 19,000 in 83. Wait a minute, misstatement there. Mercury expected to sell 70,000 of these in 82. They only sold 19. Looking at the interior of this car, we can see that it is indeed a 2-seater, no back seat, which makes it, I guess, Ford's version of the Corvette, right? We'll say that. It is a 4-speed car. Interior of this one is very nicely preserved. It has 50,000 miles on it. Let's get rid of that annoying noise. 50,000 miles on it. No power windows, no power door locks. Kids, my advice, if you're looking for an old car, get one without power doors and locks. It has tiny little tires on it, tiny little wheels. This one's in pretty good shape. You can tell from the faded paint on the bumper and the little rust spots in the hood that it had a bit of a rough life for a while. It came out of the Daniel Birdyshaw collection in Arkansas. Some of you may have known him online. A lot of people did. He had a lot of good friends. And he loved minty little cars, and this came out of his collection. When he unfortunately passed away a few years ago, his sister was selling off his fleet, and I jumped on this and didn't want to let anyone else get it, both because I wanted an LN7 for myself, and they're very hard to find, and also just to kind of preserve something that he had in his collection. This car has the 1.6 liter inline 4. Like I said, it has the 4-speed. One thing that's interesting about this car is that despite the fact that it is on the same platform as the Lynx and the Escort, nothing else is the same about it. Maybe the windshield and maybe the wheels, I guess, but that's it. It was really a fresh new idea from Ford that just never sold really well in either the Mercury or the Ford iteration. This is one of my few cars that has a name. A lot of people like to name their cars or call it him or her or whatever, and I just generally don't do that for whatever reason. But this one, we like to call it Smoky, because whenever it sits for a little while, oil drips onto something and it smokes. So most of the smoke is already burnt away as I drove it into town to wash off the dust here today. But regardless, it is smoky to all of us here at Unloved Autos. By the way, we're shooting this video in beautiful downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. I brought it over here to shoot my video near the car wash before the sun went away for good and before the next storm rolls in. Well, that's it for this week, everyone. Thanks for watching. Watch for a new video next week. We may have another vehicle spotlight, or we may have a guest. We're going to start occasionally having guests who stop by Unloved Autos to look at the cars and answer some questions for us. We'll see you next time.